What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Patriot Specialized today. Today's episode, we got some disappointing dies that we're going to be hauling down to from Detroit to Canton, and beasts pretty much caught on fire today. Everything but caught on fire today. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys, the giddy-up gone boys. 18 wheels on the concrete, it's a slow and dying breed, rolling like Jesse James, modern day outlaw game. If you're out here riding with me, come on back and make some noise. We're the last of the cowboys.
All right, guys, so as you know, we have been running these dies from Michigan down to Ohio on and off for the last few weeks. This is going to be an ongoing project. I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth from these things to other things, but they've been a little bit less, I don't know what the right word here is to define this. Disappointing, I think. It's been a little disappointing for what I was expecting was going to happen with these things, or what should be happening with these, and what's actually happening. And why that's disappointing is you're going to see in a little clip in between these two videos here, in between these two loads of dies, you're going to see me say, actually I think it's the beginning of the second one, you're going to see me say, because yesterday's wasn't, the problem there is we get paid, we negotiated the rate on this based on the weight of the piece. There's three different categories, and whatever the die is and what its size and weight determines how much we get paid on these things. So obviously heavier is better. The heavier they are, the more they're going to pay, just because they're all paid on weight, based on weight, but it's a certain dollar amount for the different sizes of these dies. So what I was supposed to be doing, but the reason that they called me in to do these things was because there were so many of them that our quad axle flatbed guys couldn't do. They're either oversized, which requires an open deck trailer, or instead of a Conestoga, or they were just too heavy for those guys to haul, and they needed the 8 axles on this truck. So I was expecting, this whole time I've been expecting, to go in here and grab these dies that require the 8 axles. We've permitted that way, we've considered it that way, but every time I go in there, no matter how many times I've told these guys, that's not what I'm here for, that's not what I'm here for, that's not what I'm here for, they're still continuing to give me dies that these other guys could haul. So not that it's a big deal, but it does kind of make me feel like I am taking freight out of freight that somebody else could be hauling in our company. And I personally don't like doing that. It bothers me in a way that I'm in there, I feel like I'm in there stealing people's freight. And number two, they don't pay, when they aren't what is required for me to be there, they don't pay quite what this truck is used to making. So that is a big factor as well. Like I know when you're running these things and you know you can make more money doing something else, then you want to go do that something else. Even though this is a big account, this is a major customer of A&H's, and I definitely will service that account because that's what we're doing. That's what we're supposed to do. However, we have ways to service this account that doesn't require me to be there. So it's been a little frustrating with the weights that they've been giving me that these other guys could haul, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of crappy because I feel like I'm taking freight from other people that I don't really need to, and I'm also not, the truck isn't making what it's used to making, or what it could be making, because the weights that they're giving me aren't what they said, I was supposed to get. So it's been a little frustrating on that end, but also, again, it's our customer. We're going to do what we have to take care of our customer, so it is what it is. But we got those done. All right. We are back at our pickup. Got delivery made this morning. That went pretty smooth. Got run back up here to the Detroit pickup. Got here right when they went on lunch, of course, which has a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing in the way of that gives me time to get the trailer set up, put the axle, put the fourth axle down, put the boards down, get them set out in where they need to be, get my chains out, get everything ready to go. So that's kind of nice because it gives me that kind of time to do that. But this particular case is kind of crappy in a way because I'm not 100% sure. He said he's got one that's not wide and it's a little bit heavy, and I'm assuming that it's this die over here. So I walked over, took a look at it, can't find anything on it. I think it's that one right there on the ground. I can't find anything on it that says what it weighs. So I'm not really sure where to put it on the trailer. I was hoping to set my boards up right where I needed them. He says a little bit heavy. I don't know what that means. Not exactly what I'm here for. So we're gonna, as soon as these guys get back from lunch, should be any minute now. They should be coming back right now. I'm gonna find out if that's the one and get this thing put on and get out of here. Saying it weighs 75,000. Pretty small for a 75,000 pound die. Probably gonna need a couple more chains, I think. Well, that's that. Let's fire this truck up, lift the trailer, get it in ride height, and see what our weights are. I don't think it weighs nearly what they think it weighs. We're looking at 42 pounds on each set, which puts us somewhere in the 14,000 pounds per axle range. Curious what my drives are at. We'll find out right now. Well, gauge is showing about 80 pounds, which should put us I believe that'll put us about 46,000, I think, on my drives. I'm gonna scale it and find out and be 100% sure, but I think that puts us about 46,000, so that's without the pusher down. See what we got here. Let's go get it scaled. Lift this trailer up, check our gauges, make sure we're good. I think we are. I think he said it only weighs 67,000. We'll see. The last one wasn't right. All right, we got the trailer picked up. Let's see what our gauges say here. Looks like this is the suspension load right here for my drive tires. Looks like we're sitting right on 80, which is exactly where we were yesterday. And we were pretty light yesterday. So I don't think this thing weighs 67 like he thinks it does. But let's go check our trailer just to be sure. Getting old, guys. Need my glasses. So this is what we got. Another die. I promise next video we'll have something different other than a die in it. This will be the last one this week. We're going to run over to York and pick up a amphibious unit. So this will be the last one this week. And then actually that amphibious unit is going, believe it or not, it's going 5.9 miles up the road. So I will deliver it Monday and then come right back down here, load another die to go down to Canton on Monday. So that worked out pretty good. It's incredibly good. But this is what we got on this one. So he's saying 67,000. I'm doubting it. I think we're gonna turn out about 60 maybe. But we're gonna call it 70 just so our securement's good. We need half the weight of the load. So we need 35,000 pounds worth of securement. We have one chain going all the way across in the front. I went right up through those ears and just came right up all the way across. Get full credit for that chain. And then these ones here, I got a little creative with it. I threw the chain up over the top, brought it back down through this hole here, hooked it to itself, came down, put a binder on it, so we get half credit for that chain. Did the same thing, even though this is the same chain, did the same thing on this one. Up through the hole, down to the trailer. Half credit for that one, so we get full credit for the one on the front, full credit for these two. And then this one here, I did the same as the front. Went right up over the ears, all the way to the other side, so we get full credit for that chain as well. So we're sitting at 4 chains, roughly 44,000 pounds worth of securement. That puts us very good on securement requirements for the Department of Transportation, staying compliant. So we're good there. Now, let's make sure our gauges are good. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. All right. 42, 44, 46. Roughly about 48 on these. Okay, let's see what the trailer's got. We're right about the same place. Check our label here. 46 pounds is 15,000 pounds. 53 pounds is 17,000 pounds. So we're pretty much closer to 15 than 17. We're going to call it 16,000 on each axle. We're good there as far as our permit's concerned. That's right about where we were yesterday when we ended up weighing about 57,000. So I got a feeling this thing is not as heavy as they think. It's kind of been a trend on the last couple days. So the other side for securement, I did the other side exactly like this side in the middle. I threw one chain, hooked it up over the side, used 2 binders. So we get credit for that chain as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, plus the other one on the other side. That gives us the 4th chain for securement on this. So we are more than good. Technically don't need, we're on 7 axles. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute because we had a hard time getting our permit in Ohio for this, for these loads because I don't know what Ohio was doing, but it was pretty funky. They were throwing on police escorts and civilian escorts for bridges, and so we'll talk about that here in a minute. But right now we're gonna get on the road, get out of here, get down Lodi, get parked for the night, and enjoy an early night for once. So tomorrow will also be an early day, I think. We will let's get out of here. I had every intention this morning on getting film while I was delivering, because I don't ever seem to deliver film while I'm delivering. I had every intention this morning of getting film while I was delivering, and I got parked at the top of the hill where I always do. I always park up there. I pop my chains off up there, do everything I got to do, and then go down the hill to get scaled in. And I'd stop up top, start popping my chain loose, and I'm like, man, why do I smell electrical burning? Like, and it's not, you know, you're in a scrapyard, so they burn things in scrapyards all the time. Maybe they're hitting something that, but electrical burning has a very specific smell. And I'm like, man, why do I smell electrical burning? I look up toward the front of the truck, and now, mind you, I'm halfway back the trailer, so that smell is pretty strong. And I'm like, man, why do I smell something burning? And I look up toward the front of the truck, and in between my truck and trailer, there is just smoke pouring out of in between the truck and trailer. And that got me panicking a little bit. I don't know if you guys know, but one truck in the history of A&H, we did have one truck where he was pulling into a truck stop, I don't know, but a fuel line broke inside the motor, or out in the motor housing, underneath the hood. A fuel line broke, and as soon as that fuel line gets to the exhaust, there's enough temperature there to cause a fire, and that whole truck burned to the ground. It was a super nice truck, almost one step down from being a show truck. In fact, I probably would have put it in some shows, and it burned to the ground. So of course that is immediately in my mind, like, holy smokes, like I'm about to burn this truck to the ground. So I panicked a little bit, but fortunately the fuse popped, lights went out. That caused the whole problem to stop, and the smoke obviously stopped before it became a fire, just before it became a fire, I think. And that had me panicking a little bit. Now, my question was, at that point, was why in the world was there smoke rolling off of that before the fuse popped? The fuse should have popped long before there's smoke. Like, that's just the way it works. So that was kind of confusing. And then what we ended up finding out in the end was also a little bit confusing. But here's a clip of when I got to the shop after delivery. So we thought we were going to be on our way to York this morning. Instead, when I got to delivery and I started unchaining, started unchaining, I smelled a little bit of electrical burning, which isn't uncommon to smell something weird at a scrapyard, but the scent got a little bit stronger, and I looked up at the front of my trailer, and where the connection, my pigtail goes in from the truck to the trailer, that was smoking, and I ended up losing my tail lights and my marker lights. So we are currently at the shop, back the trailer into one bay here. They're working on it.
Low battery voltage.
There's Mr. Eric.
But the only where wires are going to come in contact. I want to charge it. Yeah. It's right here where the wire was.
So they're trying to trace this problem down.
What does your auxiliary do?
What do you mean, my auxiliary?
Does it run the motor? It doesn't do that?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm just trying to figure out where it would cross.
Yeah.
Because normally
I got a feeling it's right up here in the front somewhere, because it was smoking. Yeah, right there. Right at the joint, it was literally almost on fire.
let me go get the jumper box.
Oh, yeah. This worries me a little bit. Eric? Eric's got it. I'm gonna leave him be. I'm gonna let Eric do his thing. But we got the trailer pulled in over here, and they're seeing if the problem's in the trailer, or it could possibly be in the pigtail of the truck. So we went ahead and pulled the truck in over here. So Beast is back in the bay at the shop. Hopefully we'll get this figured out here pretty quick. And, I'll get on my way to York. So I'll keep you updated. So after they had that hooked up, they checked out the truck, and what we ended up doing was we couldn't find any definitive answer. We couldn't find anything that was other than the, you know, obviously the cord was plugged in. Here's a weird part about this. There was smoke, there was nearly fire, the fuse popped, but I still had turn signals and brake lights on the trailer. I only lost the marker lights and the tail lights. Which was somewhat confusing on how that would happen. So I was able to do a couple things and managed to get this thing to our shop, which is not very far away. So I ran this thing up to the shop, and those guys took a look at it. You guys just saw the clip of that. And what it ended up was the best thing we can figure, because you guys know, when you work on trucks, when you have there are times where you don't really have a definitive answer on what was wrong. Sometimes it's just like, hey, we got to try that. We think this is it. Let's see what happens. And unfortunately, this is one of those cases, and it seems to be working out so far. We couldn't find anything. They hooked that machine that you saw hooked up to the trailer in the video. That's called they call it Lassie. You plug it in, and it's got all kinds of, you can push different buttons, and it tests different, shows you where there's open circuits, shows you where there's short, like it tests each section of the trailer and individually. So they hooked that up, and we couldn't find anything wrong. The trailer was fine. There wasn't kicking any fuse. There was no open circuits. There was no, so the answer there is it's not the trailer. Nothing's wrong with the trailer. We did the same thing with the truck with the test light. Plugged Lassie into it. Again, nothing's wrong. So the only thing we can figure is the pigtail between the truck and trailer went bad. We had replaced that prior to doing the test. So we replaced the pigtail, and then we also, because it had burned and there was char marks in there, and we had also went ahead and replaced the 7-way connector that goes from the truck to the trailer inside the trailer side. One's a 7-way and one's, I don't know the right name for it, but I think the 7-way is the male end that plugs into the female end. I don't know what the female end's called, but anyways, we replaced both of those on the truck and the trailer, and that solved the problem. So the best we could figure is it was somewhere in between those two joints. Something went haywire, and it ended up creating a circuit that was strong enough to almost cause a fire. So luckily enough, the fire did not happen. Fuse did its job, a little bit late, but it did its job, and the fuse popped. Obviously that takes power away. The whole problem goes away at that point, and we were able to do some repair before we plugged it back in and had another fire. So that's where we're at right now. I ended up leaving the shop about 12:30, 1 o'clock. I think it was about 1:30 today. I left the shop, ran.
See ya. There's Ghost.
I will be the last to fall. I won't shed a tear for them to see. I won't have your name to call. 'Cause I will be the last to fall.
We're parked in Carlisle right now. We're gonna be picking up a York tomorrow morning. I think I was gonna go get Beast a bath tonight, because, whoo boy, man. This snow and the brine they put down the road, and this truck is a disaster. So I was going to get it a bath before we go in tonight, before I go in for pickup in the morning, and I think there was 23 trucks in line, and even at a fast truck wash, you're talking 15 minutes per truck. They got 2 bays, so that's a long time, a very long time to be sitting there. So I think what I'm going to do is just wake up a little bit early tomorrow morning, run up there, get this thing washed tomorrow morning when nobody's there, which is usually what happens. If you go pretty early in the morning or in the middle of the night, you got a better chance of getting right in and out. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen in the morning. The line won't be too long. I get this thing a bath, take it in there. I really don't like to go into this customer looking like it looks right now out there, because it's bad. The trailer is basically white. It's not even black anymore because it's covered in road salt. So anyways, that's all I got on this video, guys. I appreciate it. Next video, I promise you, we're gonna have something a little bit better than a die on the trailer, but cover that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get picked up, I'll be able to cover it. I can't, as you know, you guys have seen my videos, I can't record while I'm in the customer. However, I'll stop somewhere along the way and do a little recording on it, and we'll talk about the load and what it is, where it's going, and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. For those of you that this is your first time watching the channel, if you like what you see, hit that like button. If you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. And that's all we got. I'm gonna go do my thing tonight here at Carlisle, and we will talk to you guys on the next one. So everybody stay safe out there.